I was teaching Henry Adams, education Henry Adams to my students, and there's this scene in the book. I think his sister has died, and he looks at a mountain, and he was interested in physics at the time. This is when they were first discovering things like the possibility of the atom and the possibility that what looks like a solid object is really mostly empty space with these tiny particles whirring and spinning through it. And he has this really nice passage about it. And I remember my students got interested in that. We talked about it for a while. I mean, it's one of the weird things about physics ever since there's been atomic physics is that it actually showed that what we take to be real involves this imagination. This chair that I'm sitting on feels so solid, but it's mostly empty space with forces passing through it and things whirring. And so I wonder if sort of this dynamic has been built into physics since the beginning, and this is just a new manifestation of it.
Yeah, that's an interesting question. I mean, I'm listening to the way you describe that, and I've heard that explanation of the atom as something that was originally conceived of as being solid, as being the smallest indivisible part, and then there was that insight around the turn of the century that it's not in fact solid, but is a lot of empty space. But again, you see there's two imaginaries at play, if you will, here in that example that you brought up, which is I think a perfect illustration of what I'm talking about. Is that on the one hand you have this one image of something solid, a solid object that we're very familiar with. On the other hand, you have another image that we're also familiar with, which is the idea of an empty space with lots of little particles dotting it. That is mesocosmic, as I mean it as the same way. It's something that comes from quotidian everyday experience. It's an embodied experience. You're seeing a space with little dots in it. The actual reality of the atom is neither of these, but we have this kind of ordering in the meta-discourse, in the epistemology, where we're saying that there's the first order one, which is the solid object, and that is really just an appearance. And in our Enlightenment minds, there's really a reality underneath the appearance, and that is this other image that we slip in sort of surreptitiously, this image of the field with the dots populating it. And then we say, no, well, actually, that's the reality. But neither one of them are really the reality. They're both images, and they're ordered by the meta-discourse so that we privilege one over the other.